All right, man. Well, welcome. This is one of the first times I've even recorded or done a podcast with a homie.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Well, I guess good way to start. Kind of just talking about how we met.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny because so I met you in Toronto when I was working there as an internship. Got a job at this company, and I met Trevor.
Yes.
And then one day, me and Trevor hang out at the beach, and he's like, "Yo, my buddy Kabir is coming too, and he's gonna bring." And I was like, "Oh, okay, that's sick." It was the summertime in Toronto, 2022. I think it was
21.
21. Yeah, it was COVID. Yeah. And then, I remember you pulled up, and it was just hilarious right off the bat. We just started joking, chatting, having fun. Actually, even before that, we were in a McDonald's, and he got a call from you because he was like, my buddy's coming to the beach. Let me just call him. And I think you called him, and he picks up, and I'm standing beside Trevor, and I can hear him talk to you. And this is the first time I've ever heard a Toronto man's.
Yeah.
And just it was so funny because Trevor's my work buddy, so I only hear him in a professional work context. Yeah. And all of a sudden, he's on the phone, he's like, "Hey, what you saying, bro?"
Yeah.
Using all these Toronto terms, "Yeah, bro, you marved?" Yeah. And I just saw him code switch so hard.
On a dime?
Yeah, and he hangs up, and I was like, "What the fuck was that? Who are you talking to?" And he's like, and I remember he's like, "Yeah, it's my buddy Kabir."
That's how he is.
That's how I talk when I talk to him. I was like, "That's so funny." So that was my first impression before I even met you. And then you pulled up to the beach, and it was just kind of so sick for me to watch you talk. It was kind of smooth. This new lingo I've never heard. And I was like, "Yo, this is sick. I kind of want to pick this up."
Yeah, that's sick. That's fucking sick.
And then every time I started talking to you, it happened to me too.
Yo, yeah. Slowly convert him into a Toronto man.
All right, man. Well, I guess a good way to start is how would you this sounds like an interview question, but how would you describe yourself? But you're not allowed to use your job.
Okay.
Where you from, or where you're from. You could maybe talk about where you're currently based.
Okay.
Yeah.
No job and not where I'm from. I think
we already know you're from Toronto. So.
Yeah, for sure. I think I'm someone that doesn't take things too seriously,
I would describe you that way, yeah.
Yeah, trying to take my life too seriously. I try not to take things as big as macro as my life, but also things as micro as just, everyday kind of inconveniences.
Yeah.
That I think a lot of people could get really hung up on. I try not to do that. That being said, I'm also things that need to be taken seriously, I do, and I lock in, but I do find that generally there's a bit of an imbalance of people being a bit too rigid and not loose and okay, it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I try to take things too seriously. I think I'm a pretty funny guy, not to sound like a fucking narcissist or anything. I think I'm a pretty funny guy. I've always tried to, I don't know. I remember even from a young kid, I just enjoyed the feeling of people laughing.
Yeah.
As weird as that sounds, because it's just the vibe is good
in
the area, and I find I really connect with good vibes.
Yeah.
Much more so than, I know that sounds like such a good vibes or whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I find I can really tell if someone's having a good time, if someone's having an off day. Really pick up on subtle kind of body language, emotional cues.
Yeah.
And I find if someone's not feeling good, then I won't feel good.
Yeah.
So I like making other people feel good, almost selfishly, so I can then feel good.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Yeah. Okay, I see that.
And I found humor and laughter was a good way of doing that.
Yeah.
And as I got more into that, I think I'm a very creative person. I've been playing the drums for 18 years.
Yeah, punk rock drummer.
Yeah.
That's an interesting. I was gonna bring that up.
Yeah. So I've been doing that. And I've been trying to branch out to use my creativity in other ways. So comedy is a big one, which I started doing, I think a year and a bit ago. Even I started salsa dancing, and I find that's very creative as well.
Yeah.
And even I won't talk about what my job actually is. It's not anything special, but even in my job, I find ways to, my professional life, I should say, to be more creative minded.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I would say those are probably kind of the big pillars that make up who I am.
Yeah, I like that. I want to talk about kind of you drumming too, because that kind of plays into it. Like,
Yeah.
you have a really interesting upbringing because you grew up South Asian,
Yeah.
like me. You studied economics.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you went to school. Made your
Yeah.
parents proud.
Yeah.
But you're also like kind of like a fuck the system kind of guy, like
Very
a
much
punk
so.
rock drummer. Even though
Yeah.
you studied like finance, which is very much like study the system in a way.
Yeah.
And now you're like also like amateur stand-up comedian. Like you're trying to get into it. You're based in Medellin now,
Mm-hmm.
and you're going to bars. Sometimes you're hopping on stage trying to play some drums.
Yeah.
Trying to do some open mic nights for
Yeah.
stand-up. Just like, how did you get there?
Yeah.
Like,
Yes. My question is, what the fuck?
Yeah. Like, what happened?
What happened? Yeah, brother, a lot. I don't know. I think some of it happened by accident. I feel like a lot of it started when I played drums. And I got into that. Bless my mother, she forced me and my sister into music lessons.
Yeah.
And it was never something that was on my radar. It's not like I was walking around when I was a kid and I saw a drummer and I said, that's sick, I want to do that.
Yeah.
It was my mom that was saying, I'm putting you in music lessons. So I said, okay, whatever, I'll do the drums.
Yeah.
And then I just loved it. And I got super into the scene of playing music, creating music, being creative in groups.
Yeah.
So working with a band to create something out of nothing, make a song from just whatever's going on in our tiny brains.
Yeah.
And I've always been into punk rock music, even before I started playing music.
Yeah.
I love fast-paced music, like up-tempo, very energetic.
Yeah.
I actually find it's weird. It relaxes me. Whereas if I it's fucking weird, man. Like,
yeah, because you listen to punk rock to go to bed.
It's my going to bed playlist, bro. So it's funny, like hardcore punk, man. It's my going to bed playlist, dude.
Most people, it's like slow, no lyrics even.
No,
just
bro.
Like a quiet podcast.
I'm weird, man. I find like if I listen to slow emotional music, like I'll like feel sad, like very sad, and I'm like, this sucks. When I'm like, but when I listen to like fast paced, like energetic music, I'm like, I can like relax, man.
So funny.
So yeah, man. So I've just always been into punk music, and then when I started playing drums,
I
would actually play punk music. And music was, I think, a big driver for me from like age 12 to probably like 23. So what is that, like 11 years? Because that's when I was like really serious in one of the bands that I was in. And then I branched out, I think, into comedy. I remember because I came home from traveling, like doing this big trip, like 10-month backpacking trip. And I remember feeling like I don't want to come home and be the same person that I was before, like walk the same path, the same streets. I want to try and almost treat Toronto as just the next stop on my backpacking trip.
Right.
And I love, while I was backpacking, doing new things, getting myself out of my comfort zone, meeting new people and like specific communities of people.
Yeah.
So I was always interested in comedy. So I said, fuck it, let me jump into that. So yeah, I took a 10-week course and then just kept on getting into it. I find with a lot of these things that I do, whether it's music or comedy or salsa dancing or surfing or traveling, the commonality with that is you really have to use your brain, and you got to be on and thinking, but in very specific ways. And I love using my brain in those ways. I don't know if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Like you're solving like very novel problems that's specific to that scenario.
Exactly.
And then with salsa dancing, I'm not sure. Like, what is that? Just more movement? How your body is anticipating your partner's movements? Like
a lot of it, it's less anticipation, because as the man, at least in salsa, you're the leader.
Yeah.
So the woman would be doing more of the anticipating or like the reading of my movements.
Yeah.
But I actually find it a lot like drumming, because it's moving your body on beat, on rhythm.
Yeah.
But there's the added caveat of, with drums, let me sit up straight, fix my posture. With drums, there's a difference between playing the drums and playing music. And there's a difference when you're salsa dancing between doing a combo and actually dancing. Not being rigid, actually feeling the music and like grooving a little bit. I'm pretty good at doing that when I play drums because I've been doing that for 18 years. Salsa dancing less so because that's been like 7-8 weeks. But I just enjoy that, and it's so much to think of because it's your feet are always moving on pattern. You are the leader, so your movements have to be strong and confident. So she knows, like, okay, Kabir is putting his hand up. That means he's getting ready to spin me. But you have to be strong. If I ever have to like move a woman's body, like lift her hand up or grab her waist and push her along. But you also don't want to be too strong. But you also don't want to be too light because then she's just going to be
she doesn't understand if that's like a signal
to move
to do that part of the choreography.
Exactly. So it's fun. I find it awesome because there's like 20 different things that you have to keep track of at the same time. And I'm like, awesome. Let's go.
Dude, I think one of the biggest things that is just like really interesting about you, even if I try to describe you to someone, is just like you don't take things very seriously, which is kind of just so different from I would even say a lot of South Asian guys that you meet. There's almost this mentality, especially in like South Asian culture, where it's like you're trying to be like a certain thing. You're trying to be an engineer, you're trying to be a doctor, you're trying to like make a lot of money, blah, blah, blah. Like it's a bit more, I don't know, I would say like competitive in nature almost. Maybe that's just a South Asian cultural thing. But you're just so different from that in a way that's like so cool to me. Like this guy
appreciate you.
Doesn't really fucking care. Like he's just doing his own thing. And just like the way you talk about things, you talk to people, you joke and stuff. So I guess I'm curious, like, why do you think you're so different in that way? Like you are so much more less serious, but also it's not that you don't take things seriously. You just have like, just such a different, I don't know, looser energy. More explorative. You're not really like, I don't know, trying to follow the conventional path in a way. Like, what do you think made you that way? Do you think you take it from like your parents? Do you think that's just like,
that's a good question.
Was it an influence on that? Like, was it,
I don't think I take it from my parents because I think my parents are
like, even the way you talk to your mom is really funny to me. So like you call your mom bro.
You're
like, what's up, bro? How you been?
I'll call her up. Like, what are you saying, guy?
Yeah.
I don't know. Kiki's a chiller. My mom's the best. No, so my dad grew up in India and then did his master's in the States and then moved to Canada. So he's more of a proper immigrant. And my mom moved to Canada when she was 2 years old. So he grew up here. So I'm kind of a 1.5 generation immigrant. And my mom grew up in like 60s, 70s in Kitchener. Probably like the only Indian family, a whole bunch of white kids. So she kind of went through that also like 6 decades ago. 5-6 decades ago. So she, I think, has a bit of that sensitivity of not trying to be like the Bobby Brown kid that sticks out. From her own experiences growing up. So I think she tried to, she was a little more chill on things, or she was just a little bit more cognizant of things, I think, when me and my sister were growing up. So getting us to, I don't know, maybe like just try and fit in a little bit more or blend in and not stick out as the whole, like, Bobby Brown kids or whatever. So I think because of that, there was maybe a little bit less of a push on traditional South Asian immigrant values in my household growing up. There still was, but maybe a little bit less so. So I think that probably contributed to it. I think in some ways, in a lot of ways, I think I'm a pretty hard worker, but in some ways I'm quite lazy. Like I find that if I don't see the benefit of doing something,
Yeah.
then I'm just like, fuck that. Like I don't care. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna try, which is probably not a great quality, but and I don't know, I've just always had a problem with authority.
Yeah. Very punk rock drummer.
Yeah, honestly, just don't fucking tell me what to do, man. Like, go fuck yourself. And I get it. Like, if there's someone who clearly knows better than me, then I'm gonna listen to him. But I don't know. That's kind of been a little bit of my whole thing of like, stop telling me what to do. I'm gonna do what I do. I don't like doing things the way that everybody else does them.
Yeah.
Like like everybody else has done this way, therefore you should do it this way. So I'm like, what? I'm gonna do things a certain way for the sake of doing things a certain way.
Yeah.
It's like that's so devoid of creativity, of thought process, of like, let me try something new. Let me try and fail or iterate. You see one path, I see four. Why can't I try any of these out?
Yeah. You like to sort of like challenge the status quo.
A little bit. Yeah. And like, I don't know. I feel like I also have a strong sense of fairness.
Yeah.
And I think unfortunately, as I've gotten older and like, as we've seen the world kind of unfold the way it has, you see a lot of unfairness around the world.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like, there's a little bit of a thought of, what the fuck is this system that I'm trying to like play into?
Yeah,
I mean, not to get like too crazy, like political, because like I will go on a rant if you're not careful. But I think that's, I don't know, kind of where my like, I don't know, I don't really care too much because like, it's not that I don't care. It's just I'm a little more relaxed.
No, I get that, man. There's this like good quote by Steve Jobs when he says like the world around you is just made up by people no smarter than you. Like, and it's totally changeable. You can push the buttons, you can tweak things, you can engineer it differently.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be the way that you just have been told it's this
and
way.
you know who's one of those people who's no smarter than us? Steve Jobs. Okay, because I read that he died of treatable cancer because he said, I'm just going to eat pears and do acupuncture.
He wanted to do like, some like alternative medicine technique.
Man. All right.
But hey, maybe because he like didn't give a fuck if he did die. Some people are like, well, death is a part of life. I'm not trying to fight it that hard.
That is so punk rock.
And like, I respect him for that. If that was what was his thing,
Yeah, thanks to the iPhone, Stevie.
Yeah. Dropped acid and made some great tech products. That's what we need.
All right. We dropping tonight?
Okay, so now I want to talk to you about how you became a digital nomad.
Yeah, man.
So you've been like, I don't know, when you were in Toronto, you were working a way different job. You were in tech sales. And now you're trying to like, you're unbound. You're traveling the world and you get to work remotely. How'd you get there? Why are you a digital nomad? How did you become a digital nomad? What interested in you in being a digital nomad? Was this always on your mind since you like since out of college or?
No, man, not since out of college. Out of college, I had no idea what I was doing. So I just tried a bunch of shit and I landed on this. I took that big, I worked that tech sales job for 3 years. And in that time, I'd always been talking about taking a big traveling trip. So I did. I quit my job, went traveling, 10 months, loved it.
And you went all the way Southeast Asia, right?
Yeah, I did a bunch of countries Southeast Asia, which was a lot of fun. Yeah.
That's sick.
Yeah. And I felt that when I came home, I just felt bored. And I felt like I was being stuffed back inside of a cage.
Yeah.
This sounds a bit dramatic.
No, I remember talking to you about this because you felt like that 10 months of traveling, that really evolves a person.
Yeah.
You really change. Even though it's 10 months, but you're actually like 10 months in multiple other different countries.
Yeah.
You learn so much, you grow so much, you experience so much. You come back home, you're not the same person.
No, not at all, man. It's like you are free to do whatever you want, whenever you want. You know, I feel like that probably taps into my like dislike of authority. I am the authority. I can say what I want.
You decide what happens every day.
Yeah, exactly. And like obviously, like I get it. I get life is not, I cannot do whatever I want. There's responsibilities, of course. I understand that.
Yeah.
But I don't know, coming home, it just felt like the exact opposite of that.
Yeah.
I felt I met a lot of cool, interesting people. while I was traveling, like people who would challenge my way of thinking, who would challenge me to get myself out of my comfort zone, which I did a bunch, and I had an awesome time doing that. And coming home, I was like, I don't feel that challenge. I don't feel that energy. I feel bored.
Yeah.
You know, and bored in not a good way, because boredom is actually good for creativity.
Yeah.
But I felt when I came home, I was
misaligned.
Yeah, and just like kind of craving that energy again.
Yeah.
So then I spent, I think, a total of 14 months at home, 7 months looking for a job, 7 months working.
Yeah.
And I at that point, I was looking for any job. I was interviewing for a bunch, even in Toronto, and I would take whatever I got. But I was also, at first, I thought I would get a job in Toronto, and I was trying to figure out how could I be a digital nomad. So I was looking into like, maybe I'll start my own SEO business or something like that. And then I was also applying for jobs. Sorry, not to make this so convoluted. I basically ended up applying for a remote job, and I got it.
Yeah.
Which was sick. And I said, I want to go travel more. I now have the ability to travel while I work. I have this perk that a lot of people don't have, so I may as well take advantage of it.
So you weren't particularly looking for a globally remote job at the time. You were just like had that itch to travel, but this kind of also just came along.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
I wasn't exclusively looking for remote jobs.
Right.
I was kind of looking for both.
Yeah.
But I wasn't in the mindset of I'm 100% going to work remotely. I was talking about it a lot, more from the context of, or perspective of, it's something that I would like to do, but it doesn't have to be right now.
Right.
But then I got it, and I left. I said, I have the opportunity, so let's go.
Yeah. So what has it been like being a digital nomad? How has it changed your life? Has it opened your eyes to a lot of things?
I think so. Yeah, man. In a lot of ways, it's very interesting because I've only really done it for 7 weeks. So
yeah. You're just on the start.
Yeah, man. I'm still figuring things out.
Yeah.
I noticed a few things, a couple things that I thought that I thought would be the case before I left.
Yeah.
Number one is very different from traveling.
Yeah.
Because you're working, you have your routine. I spent my first 2 weeks staying in hostels.
Yeah.
And I didn't really meet too many people. I met a couple people who I was like, decent friends with.
Yeah.
But you're in hostels, the turnover is so quick. It's like three days.
Yeah.
And it's gone. And like I get attached to people very quickly.
Yeah.
So every 3 days, it was like, you are my best friend ever. You are the love of my life.
And then all of a sudden,
and then they're gone.
Yeah.
And then it's like rinse and repeat for 2 weeks. Yeah. And I'm just like, after that, I was like, I'm wrecked.
Yeah.
Done.
Toughens you up emotionally.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, now I don't give a fuck.
You don't
about
get too
anyone.
close now.
Yeah. Arm's length.
That's funny.
But I remember, so I was really just trying to branch out, meet new people, do new things. So I started salsa dancing.
Yeah.
And I started going to language exchanges to practice my Spanish, but also meet some people.
Yeah.
And I was at this language exchange called Gringo Tuesdays, Medellin, awesome place. And I met these 2 American girls, and they were telling me about co-living spaces.
Yeah.
Which is basically a hostel for digital nomads.
Yeah.
So I said, great. That sounds like people that'd be more my speed, staying long-term. Everyone's working.
Yeah.
So you kind of don't feel like the one weirdo on your laptop from 9 to 5 while everybody else is doing city tours.
Yeah.
So that was great. And I had no idea what it would be like, but I said, just go try it.
Yeah.
Book a week and see what it's like.
Yeah.
And I went, and I ended up staying, I think, for 5 weeks. It was awesome.
Wow.
Met a lot of great friends.
Yeah.
The nomad community is very cool.
Yeah.
Because you have to be a certain type of person to pack your life up, go to a new country, new culture, and basically start fresh. And it's also a lot of entrepreneurs, which I found to be very interesting because I've never really been in the entrepreneurial circle back home.
Yeah.
So just hearing like their mindset, their what drives them, it's an interesting type of entrepreneur too.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of the entrepreneurs in your big cities, Toronto, New York, LA, they are driven by, I'm going to make a conglomerate. like a massive company.
Yeah.
My goal is money, money.
Yeah, they want an IPO.
Exactly. Like I am going to own you. Basically.
Yeah.
Whereas a lot of the nomads I was meeting, it was like, I want to have my own company for autonomy.
Right.
I have the freedom to work how I want, where I want, when I want. I'm not really driven by being the richest motherfucker in the world. I don't want to own you. I want to own my own life.
Own your own time.
Exactly. And I found that was very, very interesting and cool and eye-opening.
Interesting. Dude, so why are you a digital nomad in South America? Like, why'd you pick this place? And is this a phase in your life right now, or are you okay with just not knowing that end?
It's not a phase, Mom. No, I picked like Latin America because I just have to work on Eastern Standard Time.
Oh, okay. So you're bound by a time zone.
Yeah, which I actually enjoyed because I think if I didn't have that, I might have spent a lot of time being like, I could go here, but then I could go there. But sorry, what was the second part of your question?
Do you think this is like a phase right now, or are you okay with just having this be indefinite?
I think it's it's a little indefinite.
Yeah.
I don't really feel much of a pull to go back to Toronto anytime soon.
Yeah. Or even not just Toronto, but like the traditional job in a city.
Yeah, just like that whole kind of like North American lifestyle. It doesn't move me. Well, one, I feel like the States is 100% off the table.
Yeah.
And if I lived in Canada, I'd probably live in Toronto.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel like putting myself out there, trying new things. I find other countries are a little bit more my speed.
Right.
So I think I'm still figuring things out as I go. Again, I've only been doing it for like 7-8 weeks.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna have a good process of like trial and error.
Is there like an interesting subculture that's almost developing from this world of digital nomad, this new type of worker who is sort of like untethered, and they are building their own thing, or they're either working for a company that allows them to be anywhere. And then there's just like a culture within that. You're going to these co-living spaces where like entire, infrastructure for just this type of worker is now popping up. Maybe there's a special type of lingo, or maybe even like special type of services you guys are using like for money and all this. Like, are you sort of discovering this new world?
Yeah, man, 100%. I think services are big ones, like ways to get money and spend money efficiently. Different language services. Again, I am still just kind of learning.
Yeah.
I think even culturally too, I was talking to this one girl at my co-live, and she'd been traveling like nomad style for a while.
Yeah.
And she was saying, oh, it's tough to have relationships.
Yeah,
like
that's interesting.
Romantic styles, but I think even like good friendships as well, because of the impermanence. Like I could be here for 2 months and then I could be somewhere else or whatever. Yeah. I think culturally there is a bit of an understanding of, or just getting used to impermanence.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, it's an interesting, because a lot of this stuff you never have to think about. It is an interesting, I guess, shift in perspective.
Yeah. How you approach your work.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Would you say, would you say that like the remote work culture works? Like it's productive. It's
works in what sense?
Like if you own a company and you allow fully remote work from anywhere in the world, do you think that's it's working? Like, do you think that's like still allowed?
Yeah. Like from the company's perspective, do you think? Yeah, absolutely.
I think from a worker sense, it's like that's like the dream.
Yeah, man.
You're not like forced to be anywhere, and it feels like you can have more, claim over your sort of autonomy.
Absolutely. If you're gonna say I have to sit around on my laptop and work from my desk in my house, what difference to you does it make if I'm doing that from my cold apartment in Toronto when it's -30 outside and there's snow everywhere, or if I'm at the beach. Like, if I get my job done, I get my job done.
Yeah. If the quality of work is the same.
Yeah. Okay. And like, I don't know. I think people feel more motivated to do their job.
Yeah.
Because they're happier.
Yeah.
Right? Like when I was working in Toronto, there were lots of times where I was like, I do not enjoy being here because I feel trapped in a box.
Yeah.
So I have no motivation to do work today. So I'm going, I'll like log in and like 9 to 5, but like the level of output you're getting from me is not that high.
Yeah.
Right? If I come down here and I'm like, yo, I can actually live my life and like I can close my laptop and go to a 6 salsa class outside in the park instead of having to shovel my driveway. I'd feel pretty good about like, like working and doing my job or whatever. So I think it works. And also, I mean, from a company's perspective, you don't have to pay for office space.
Yeah. What would you say are the downsides to being a digital nomad? There's a lot of ups.
Yeah.
What would you say are the downs that you've sort of noticed?
Definitely like that whole culture around impermanence, like trying to find community.
Right.
One thing I've struggled with is trying to also find the balance of being a good and respectful traveler. Because you also have to understand that when you're a digital nomad, you are going to someone else's country and you are a guest in that country.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, if you show up the wrong way, you can make life more difficult for the local population.
Right.
And a lot of these countries we're going to, unfortunately, the local population sometimes have it a little bit more difficult than a local population in Canada or in America.
You're already coming in earning more than like the average person.
Exactly. Like I really try, like I've been learning Spanish, so I try to talk to as many locals as I can. So like when I'm in Ubers in Colombia, chop it up my Uber drivers. I was in Cali and I had one lady, she was driving me and she was saying, oh, she's from Medellin, but she had to leave Medellin because it became too expensive. And it became too expensive because there was all these digital nomads coming in, driving up prices of rents, groceries.
Right.
So I think being very cognizant of that is very important. And I think that can be a big downside of being a digital nomad, but a downside not necessarily for the digital nomads.
Yeah, but just like the effect that you might have.
Exactly.
The things you might be doing like unknowingly.
Exactly. That you gotta have
playing a part in something that you may not see happening in front of you. Yeah.
Exactly.
Do you feel guilty about that ever?
Yeah, man, all the time. Like because I feel like most digital nomads probably don't intend to do that. It's just you don't clock it.
Right.
So I'll definitely have moments where I'm like out having fun and then I'll stop and think like, fuck, this might not be good about this or this or this. So I definitely try to be cognizant, I think when I was trying to find community, I was looking equally with the digital nomad population, but the problem with that is you're kind of segregated a little bit from the local population. So I would try to also, integrate myself with the local population, but not in a way of thrusting myself and my culture and my values and onto them. It's more like, hey, can I join what you're doing? Can I learn from what you're doing? And like, I don't want to disrupt. I want to join, basically.
Right. You want to like, be a part of their world and their society and their community and not just like outsider who just like takes over.
Yeah, exactly. And like, it's so funny because like, just like kind of saying this out loud, you almost sound a little bit of like, like that, like white guilt. It's just more, just have an awareness of, like cause and effect.
Yeah. You want to be respectful, but you also want to live your life. You also want to chase your own opportunities. We also understand that like what you're doing is probably taken away from someone somewhere.
Yeah, I think it's
I think that's true about almost anyone though.
That's true. I will say like you can do things, I think, just in a way that doesn't take away from others or doesn't leave behind, harm.
Yeah.
It's just you just have to be a little bit more aware of it and how to go about your actions in the best way possible. Yeah. What are your opinions on the digital nomad lifestyle from the perspective of like viewing somebody else doing it?
Yeah, like seeing you as a digital nomad? That's an interesting question. Like for me, I think from my perspective, I'm also kind of like you. I am someone who really loves novel experiences, and I get bored quick if I'm just stuck in the same routine over and over. So that part really interests me with the digital nomad lifestyle. Is like you get to do so many new things. You get to live such an cool lifestyle.
Yeah.
Filled with novel experiences, filled with like really interesting people, interesting conversations, kind of moving around a lot. But I'm sure it probably feels lonely. I'm sure it gets, when the people are gone and you're kind of by yourself and you realize you have to start all over in a new place, or just friends that you've just made have already left, and I'm sure it can feel kind of like quiet. I think experiencing it through you is really cool because it's inspirational. It's kind of motivating.
All right.
I wish, I want to also be able to just like take a chance on someone doing like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I hesitate to do that though, because I feel like, to be honest, I feel like I haven't let go of what I already have at home yet in terms of like, I can't this is not an easy job to come by, and I don't want to just give it up so easily and start a digital nomad lifestyle. What if I regret it? And that fear of regret, that fear of maybe you change your life to do this nomad lifestyle, and then you realize you can't get that old life back that you maybe were like, oh, I kind of wish I could go back to that.
Yeah.
I think I have a little bit of hesitancy there. Like, I don't know if it's for me just yet, or maybe never, or maybe it's like my time is over. It's just like, I'm not going to take that chance now. But seeing you live it is really cool. I also think you're the kind of person who would do it better, or at least differently than me. Because I think I am someone who operates on just like some good routine safeguards. Even though I don't like routine, I think it is good for me as someone with ADHD.
I got you.
And I think you also put yourself out there more than me too. I would say like I would consider myself a pretty big extroverted person who like also is crazy into like trying things, putting himself in uncomfortable situations. But I feel like even you are like further than me in some ways, and you kind of like to push the boundaries more. Especially with like comedy and stuff like that. Like you definitely like to push the buttons a bit more. You're kind of more okay in that sort of like saying something a little wild, so a little out there.
I do that a lot.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's good. I mean, I think that's what makes a good comedian. You kind of like not filter yourself as hard. So yeah, it's interesting. I don't know if I would do it right now. I don't know if I would do it in the future. It interests me, but it might just remain an interest.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Very fair.
And so I guess my other question to you was digital nomad jobs. Do you think you'll stick with this job, this particular nomadic job, or do you think you'd switch to another sort of nomadic job, and maybe somewhere that doesn't bound you to a central time zone or something?
Yeah, it's definitely something that I've been thinking about, and I think need to do some more thinking.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think I would welcome I would welcome any job that would not have me bound to a time zone.
Right.
Because then I just have complete freedom.
Wow.
And if I want to go to Bali tomorrow, I can go to Bali tomorrow and spend 3 months there. And then if I want to go to Spain after that, I could do that. And then it's fine.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out what's best in terms of also like balancing my career. So is this company that I'm at now going to be good for my career growth? Can I move up internally in it? Those are questions that I would say I don't have the answer to right now, but they are questions that I'm asking of myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's weird because I felt like I wanted to go on this digital nomad journey.
Yeah.
And I started going on it. And now I'm like, okay, what's next?
Yeah.
And I have no idea. I was telling our other buddy Trev, like, I feel like for my next step, it's not even that I'm picking between 7 options.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't even know what the options are.
Yeah. I feel like traditionally, I feel like people's options in life are, save more, buy a house, move up the corporate ladder.
Yeah, and that sucks.
Yeah.
That's so stupid. And then like, I'm not knocking it. If people like it, go do it. More power to you. You know, like I back it. I'm not even saying that I am averse to that for the rest of my life.
Right, right.
It's just, I feel like there is so much time to pursue shit like that.
Yeah.
And like, why would I lock myself into a lifestyle of climbing up the corporate ladder for like the rest of my like whatever 1 to 7 decades that I have on this earth?
Right.
Who knows?
Do you want to wrap it up?
Sure.
Yeah.
This is, I mean, whatever you want.
No, it's too hard if there's too
I can
much
keep
noise.
ranting about going up the corporate ladder if you want.
We'll do
that.
Yeah, we'll do another spot. All right, this has been Podcast with Kabir.
Sorry, we were interrupted by our friends who are working.
Okay. We'll do that next time.
Tomorrow.
All right. Peace.
Cheers.